Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to Fittest Stretch Time. We are going to be sitting in the mermaid position. We're sitting on the right hip, the right cheek, left hand on your left ankle, right arm coming up and over. Nice big stretch there. Feeling it open up the rib cage and the waist. And then we'll go to the other side, fingertips down, other arm up and over, and reaching. Great, then we're coming on up. Right arm comes behind us, left arm across, holding the hip here. We're sitting up, looking over to the left, and then breathing in, breathing out, looking over to the right. Unwinding to the front. We find this right ankle and we're bringing the knees on top of each other, and then the top one back. A bit of movement. We'll work into the hip joint, the lower back, and the quad. This will be a 30-minute stretching session, focusing especially on the lower body. The next one we'll hold as a quad stretch. Knee comes behind and down. Squeeze that top glute, pressing the hip forward. Your foot is hiding behind your glute there. If it's popping up, bring it back down. Squeeze the glute and press. Getting into that hamstring. And then we're lowering the foot down behind us. So we're taking this front foot forward a little bit. You've got a bigger zigzag here. You're sitting up. You might feel a stretch in your hips, inner thighs, lower back. Abs in. We're coming forward and we're bowing forward. A little bit of movement first. Finding that stretch for the glutes. The glute and the hip, front glute. You might feel it more. If you'd like to come down further, go for it. Find your comfortable stretch position. And then we're coming on up. We're hooking and hugging behind that knee, and we're moving the foot across and to the side. It could be as much smaller movement if you prefer. It could be right there. Or bigger. The next one, we're going to hook and hug. The ankle hooks over the thigh. Both cheeks onto the mat, hugging that knee up, long spine. Hugging and stretching the glute, the hip, the lower back. Great. We're unwinding here. Knees come up, and we'll go over to the other side. Mermaid on the other side. We're sitting on the left hip, right hand onto the right ankle, left arm up and over. Big stretch. And up and over to the other side. Come on up. Right fingertips, or left fingertips behind. Oops. There we go. Hugging and looking a little bit that way. And then a little bit that way. And we're coming to the front. Finding the ankle, the knees come together, and the top one opens to the back. We'll be working through the major muscles of the lower body, as well as the ankle and foot and the toes a bit. Good for running, good for weightlifting, good for lots of different exercises. Knee coming down, squeeze that glute, go for your quad stretch. And generally for relaxing, getting rid of any little niggling pains in the joints or the muscles. Squeezing that glute, pressing the hip to get a little deeper stretch there. The foot comes down behind us. This front foot could come forward a little bit. Find your own position. You'll know it when you find it. When you're bowing forward, you feel a lovely stretch in the hip, the lower back, and the legs. The glutes as well. A little bit of movement first, and then find the position that you'd like to hold. You can experiment with it a little bit. What feels good in your hip? Come on up. All the way up. We're going to hook behind that knee. Here we go. A little bit forward and to the side. Could start small. Could get bigger. Next one, we're going to hook and hug. Here comes the hook. Both cheeks down onto the mat, and then we hug, sitting up. Holding it here. We unwind, knees come together, and we're going to tip over into the tabletop position here. Front leg goes out, the back knee comes forward a little bit, and we're working through the back foot, the ankle, and the ball of the foot, the toes. Pushing the heel back and forward, really stretching out the toes away from each other there. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, come all the way up and over. Press through the front of your foot into the mat, stretching your shin and the front of the ankle and foot. And then take that into a movement where you're rolling up and forward, rolling up and back through the feet and the toes. You might need to wiggle a little bit to find that position that feels good. Last one, we're holding, really pushing that heel away. Feeling it in the Achilles tendon and the calf. We'll come on in with the knees, swapping other foot out. We're starting with a rocking motion, pushing the heel away and then forward. Really thinking about the toes. Pushing into the mat, letting the toes stretch out like fingers. Push away. And then go for a bigger movement that includes the top of the toes, the top of the foot into the mat. Finding that stretch for the shin, the front of the foot, the ankle. Then we work our way all the way back, all the way up and over. Take these at your own pace. Tension in our feet and ankles can cause pain further up the body through the knees and hips. So we want the feet and ankles to be supple. There we go. Let's hold that stretch there. Really pushing the heel away from you. Finding that stretch in the calf and the Achilles tendon. Feels good. And we'll come on up. Both knees together, tabletop position. We're going into an up pigeon. So we're taking this back knee towards the back wrist. The foot comes through. Lengthening out the back leg. And find your up pigeon. Hips are heading towards the mat. Fingertips coming in. Shoulders down. You could be here. Maybe you're a little bit further up. Here we are. Up pigeon. Stretching the hip flexor there. We can come down onto our forearms here. Always welcome to push the hips back a little bit more. And then down towards the mat. You could be here on your forearms. Or, always nice to take the elbows out, stack the hands and lie on down. Have a little rest here. Inching the heart towards the mat. Forehead could be on the hands. Wiggle whenever you need to. Joints and muscles love a wiggle when we're stretching. Little wiggle, find it, and then relax into it. Then we're breathing in, breathing out, coming back to the forearms first, then back up onto the hands or fingertips, shoulders down. Find your own position there. Lovely. Then we'll bring that knee back to meet the other one, and we'll do the other side. Front knee coming towards the front ankle. Foot angles a little bit, put the knee out, and we're lengthening that back leg back. Keep pushing the leg back a little, hips are coming equally towards the mat. Finding your up pigeon. Could be there. Experiment with your pigeon position. Then when we're ready, we come down onto our forearms. A little rock there, find your position. If you'd like a little bit more, angle the elbows out, hands stack, and we lie on down, feeling comfy here. Forehead could be on the hands, holding it here for a little while. We'll breathe in, breathe out. We'll come back onto our forearms, and then all the way up. Maybe you're going a little bit further now into that up pigeon. Now we'll bring the back knee in. Knees are together. We're going to work on our calf and our Achilles tendon by taking that front foot next to your back knee. So you're kind of sitting the way children sometimes sit. Maybe you're digging something here and you're rocking forward. All of your weight is coming onto your thigh to find a stretch for the Achilles tendon and the calf muscle. How about rocking forward and really pressing the chest into the thigh, maybe reaching forward. If you don't really feel it, put your fingertips on the mat and rock a little bit. You'll feel how you're working into the calf muscle, into the soleus. Might feel good. Then we're going to sit back onto that back heel, take this front leg forward. We're putting our weight onto the back foot and heel. We're stretching the ankle at the front and the shin and the foot. We'll swap, so we'll come on up and swap. Now the back foot is in line with the other knee, and you're leaning forward, kind of like the way children might play with something here. And you're going to find that stretch. Come on forward. Press the weight of your chest and your upper body into the thigh. Rock forward a little bit and find that lengthening feeling in the Achilles tendon. Hands could be on the mat if that helps. The heel of the foot we're stretching is up off the mat, and we're working into it using the weight of our upper body to stretch that Achilles tendon and calf muscle. Feeling good there. Now, this back foot that's on the floor, we're going to sit onto the heel. Take this leg forward, sitting up, and allow the weight of your body to stretch your shin here, your ankle and your foot. Some of the ankle and feet stretches feel weird, but they are good. Really good for the whole lower body. Now we're back into this position. Quick stretch forward and up, so we can come over onto our right side. Knees are together. We're going to hook and hug behind this knee, hug it into the chest as far as it will come. You could stay here if the next one is uncomfortable. We're going to hook and hug that knee up and then in towards the shoulder. Really stretching that inner thigh, lower back. Could stay here, or you could try lengthening the leg. Just experiment. Will the leg lengthen up? It'll be at a diagonal towards the front, towards the ceiling in the front. Hold the thigh, calf, ankle. Maybe flex the foot and grab the toes. Bring that big toe towards your ear. Gorgeous stretch there for the whole leg. And we're going to go back the way we came. Have a little hook and hug. Lower on down. We'll come over onto our fronts. Back arm is reaching long. Front foot comes in. We'll do a quad stretch here. We're holding the foot or ankle, breathing in, breathing out. Raise that thigh up off the mat. If you'd like a little more, raise the chest up and look down those front fingers. Nice big extension there. Hold, hold, hold. And then we'll come on down, pushing ourselves up and back. We swivel around so we can do the other side. Coming down left ear onto the left bicep, knees are bent. Elbow coming in, we're going to hook and hug. Hugging the thigh into the chest here. Letting the head relax further down onto the biceps. Head and neck relaxing as we work on the lower body. Then we're going to angle this knee up. And now we're hooking and hugging the knee towards the shoulder. That can feel really good on the lower back if you're doing lots of driving or commuting in a train or working at home on a desk, anything like that. Want to keep that lower back stretching. From here, experiment with this top leg. Where will it go if you're lengthening it? Hold where you feel comfortable. Lengthening it diagonally up and a little bit to the front. And then when you're ready, hook and hold the back of the thigh, the calf, the ankles, or maybe push the heel away and grab the toes. That might feel wonderful through the whole leg and hip. And lower back. Head, neck, and shoulders are still relaxing down into the mat. Holding it here for a moment. Then we'll go back the way we came, bending the knee. Come on in for your hook and hug. And then in and down. Now we straighten out the back leg. Back arm is reaching, front knee bending. We'll grab that foot or ankle, squeeze the glute, raise that front thigh up off the floor and reach. Nice extension there. Through the quads, a little bit in the shoulder and spine there, reaching. Come on down, lowering down, all the way down. Both hands under the shoulders, breathing in, breathing out. I'm taking the shoulders away from the ears, squeezing the legs together, squeezing the glutes. Come up a little bit for a stretch there. If it's too much on the lower back, reach the arms out in front, lengthen up and long. If you'd like a little bit more, hands under the shoulders, breathing in, breathing out, lengthen up, up, up. And add movement, taking the face a little bit over and over. Holding for a moment. Come on down. Then we're going to push ourselves up and swivel around so we can come onto our sides and then our back. Here we are. We're going to take this front knee in and up, in and all the way out and down. A little bit of movement here through the joints, up, in, out and down. This one, we're going to hold on the up, and now the toes come towards us and away. Towards and away. Two more. Towards and away. Towards and away. Then hold. Could hold the back of the thigh here, calf, ankle, or maybe flex the foot if you'd like a little deeper into the hamstrings. Maybe holding the toes, wherever you're comfortable, wherever you're still keeping head, neck, and shoulders on the mat and just in a relaxed position. Lengthen, lengthen. Then we're coming back in. We're lengthening this leg out, and the other thigh we're bringing up, and we're guiding it a little bit across, a little bit to the ceiling, a little bit across, ceiling. Two more like that, maybe a little bit further. The hips come up off the mat. The next one we're holding as our stretch, half star here. The opposite hand, the back hand reaches up, opening out to the side, palm up. Opening out the shoulder and the hip. Your back hand is the anchor on the floor, palm up. The front knee is guiding into your stretch point. Maybe your knee touches the ground without your back hand coming up. Or let it float in the air. Oh, come on up and in. Quick ball hug here. Have a little hug, a little bit of a rock. Then the front foot goes down, then the other thigh comes in and up, in, and the leg goes all the way out. Moving through all the joints there of that leg before we stretch. Up. Next one we're going to hold. So we hug in, we head up. We find our hamstring stretch. That's the one where you have a super straight leg here. We don't even want a little kink there. We want it to be as straight as it will go, even if it needs to be further away. Grab your thigh, calf, ankles, or flex the foot. That'll really add to that stretch. Hold the toes if you like. So wherever you feel good. Holding it here. We're bending that knee. Come on in and come on straight out. Now this front knee we're bringing up and we're guiding it a little bit across the body, up towards the ceiling. Maybe a little bit more, and then up. I've got my seatbelts on, lower abs are in the whole time as we stretch. Next one, guide it over. Front fingertips are reaching for the ceiling, opening out, palm up to the ceiling, and then see where you'd like to guide this knee and thigh. Hips coming up away from the mat, shoulders still on the floor. Your knee, maybe your knee touches the floor while the fingertips stay down. Maybe it floats in the air. Allow yourself to relax into that. You could be looking at those fingertips, enjoying that stretch there. Breathing in, breathing out. We're guiding that knee back in. Ball hug. Holding it here. Hold the shins, little circles of the knees here, little massage. Little circles the other way. Then we're opening our knees out and we're taking the legs up. Maybe they have a slight bend in the knees if you need to, otherwise try to lengthen out the legs. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the kneecaps, push the heels to the ceiling, push the toes back towards the ears, and allow your hands to gently open your legs out to a letter V stretch. Could be holding and pressing the thighs open or the calves, or maybe you'd rather have your elbows on the floor like anchors and let your legs go into your hands. Have a little check there. See which position you like the best for really working the inner thighs open, lower back relaxing. Once you're there, we're going to point the toes away, then back to the ears. Toes go away and back to the ears. You've got it. 2 more. That's 2. And 1. Then we're going to fold the knees, bring the feet together, and we're circling the knees and hips around here. And then we go the other way. Then we're bringing the knees together, and now we're lengthening the legs here. Squeeze the kneecaps, squeeze the thighs. Get long, straight legs here. Hold at the back of the thighs, calves, wherever you like. Toes to the nose, and then away. 4 like that. Come on in with both legs. Fold on down. Big hug. We're putting one foot down, the front foot down. Back leg up, and we're guiding this straight leg across the body, keeping the hips and the shoulders and the whole back on the mat. Guide that leg across and push the heel away, the toes towards your nose. Really feeling that stretch through the entire back of the leg, maybe hip, lower back, and glute. Piriformis stretch there. Then coming up, and we will swap. Other foot down, leg coming up straight. We're guiding this straight leg across the body, but we're keeping the hip, the back, everything on the floor. Once you're there, push the heel away, push the toes towards the nose, guide that straight leg in. Great one for the piriformis, through the glute, the hip, and the leg. Come on, straight again. Bending that foot down. One last pike. This time we'll probably go further. Straightening out the legs. We've opened up the hips a little bit there in the glute. Maybe your pike stretches a little bit longer, straighter and tighter there. Holding it here for a moment. Then we bring the toes to the nose and away 4 times. Push the heels. That's where you really feel it. Good. Bending the knees. Big hug. And we'll come on down to one side. Over and up. All the way up. Knees together here. A little bit to the side and up. Side and up. Let the elbows bend. Last one on that side, last one on that side. Then we're sitting up. Soles of the feet together into our butterfly. Elbows gently pressing the thighs open. Have a rock here. Your own distance. Will the thigh or the knee come near the floor? Each time, a little bit of a rock. Breathing in, breathing out. Gently pressing the butterfly wings out there. Down. Come on up, and we will lengthen out this right leg out to the side. Foot coming in, and we're going to bow over the thigh, over the left thigh here. Trying to keep that back cheek on the mat. Bowing over with a long flat back. Come on up. Now we're bowing over this thigh. Knee and the toes up to the ceiling, shoulders down. We're bowing forward here. How about bowing and sliding both arms forward, both hands along either side of the leg, and then reaching the front fingertips even further than the back fingertips. Holding here for a moment. If you'd like a little more, grab the ankle, the foot, the toes with the front hand and hold there. And we're going to come on up. Come on over, up and over. A little side stretch. Come on up. Bend that knee, holding with the hand, and we're coming into your lotus. So this right foot is coming onto your left thigh. And here you are in your lotus position. If that's too much, you can always go to the tailor or the butterfly where we were, that one. Otherwise, you've got one foot on the thigh, the other foot can be underneath. You're in a half lotus. Gently pressing the thighs open there or fingertips here. Adding a little bit of movement with the ribs and the other way. Come on up and we'll do the other side. So we've got the right knee bent, left leg is out, foot coming in. The torso is going to bow over this bent knee, over the thigh. Come on down, aiming to keep that back cheek on the mat. Then we'll come on up. We'll turn to the other thigh, belly button in, and we're bowing here. Hinging from the waist, really feel that stretching the hip, lower back, and the hamstring there. Good. If you'd like a little more, glide both hands on either side of the leg, and then once you find your stretch here, take that front hand and glide it a little bit further. You can do it. Glorious stretch for the waist there. Rib cage. Might feel really good in that leg as well. Reach, reach, reach. If you'd like more, that front hand could go for the ankle, the foot, the toes, holding it here. Keeping this leg flat on the mat. If you find the knee popping up away from the mat, come up a little bit higher with your body instead of letting the knee bend. Those straight legs, the stretch will really come from the hips. It'll work through the hamstrings, and you'll get there. It'll feel great. Holding it there, we're going to come on up. We'll bend this knee and come into your half lotus where that foot goes onto the other thigh. And we're sitting up here. Again, if this is too much or pulls on your knees in any way, go for the tailor position or go for your butterfly. You choose the one that you like. Gently pressing the thighs or the fingertips. And we can take the rib cage and circle it around a little bit here. And then a little bit around the other way. And then we're up. Stretching here, nice for the ankle and foot, this one as well. From here, we're taking that leg out, the other leg out. Finding the letter V. It could be a more narrow letter V if you prefer, or a wider one, up to you. Keeping the knees and the toes up towards the ceiling. Now we're bowing a little bit forward here. Belly button in, shoulders away from the ears. And have some bows to find that stretch in your inner thighs, your hips, lower back, hamstrings. Then when you feel like you found a good position, come into it, hold it for a moment. Walk the fingertips forward a little bit and hold. From here, hands onto the mat, and we're stirring the rib cage around. A couple times there, a couple times the other way, a few times. Adding movement so the stretch feels good, and it'll go a little deeper. From here, both hands are sliding down the inside of the leg. Where will they go? Two legs stretching out like the letter V, two arms stretching out like the letter V. Maybe they'll inch a little further, maybe they'll grab ankles, or your foot, or your toes. Find that stretch position. Again, it's better to have the legs touching the mat and the body up. This will be a deeper stretch than it is to have the legs popping up and the body reaching further forward. You're doing really well, and I hope you feel really good in the hips and legs, feet and calves. Come on up and we'll point the toes away and then back towards the ears. Taking the shoulders up, back and around as we go there. Knees and toes up to the ceiling, and we're stretching up and over. And then up and over. This moving side bend stretch is often called the banana. I'm not really sure why, but there you go. Here's your banana stretch. Last one, we're going to come up, breathing in, breathing out, reaching forward, hands towards the shins, ankles or toes, heart coming forward. Have a lovely deep stretch there. Hope you feel good. Thank you very much for joining me in this stretching session. Hope your ankles and feet are feeling nice and flexible. Knees and toes up to the ceiling, forward fold. Breathing in, breathing out, reaching forward and down. And in this kind of stretch for the hamstrings and hips, forward is almost more important than down. You will get further down by reaching forward instead. Belly button in, relax into it. Add a little movement. And come on up. Back to our original mermaid. And well done. Give yourself a clap. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you feel good. And I look forward to stretching again with you soon.